Following a relatively quiet 2024, Oscar-winning actress Charlize Theron is poised to return to the big screen with 4 upcoming movie projects. Among them is Atomic Blonde 2, the action-packed sequel to the 2017 hit spy thriller Atomic Blonde, currently being developed by Focus Features. In addition to reprising her role as the ice-cold MI6 agent Lorraine Broughton, Theron will co-produce the picture through her Denver and Delilah production company. Although Atomic Blonde was criticized for adding little to the Cold War espionage subgenre in terms of story, fans and critics agree that the movie's visceral fight scenes are among the movie's strong suits. Under former stunt performer turned director David Leitch, Theron performed nearly 100% of her own harrowing stunt work in the film, including the jaw-dropping stairwell brawl that continues to be talked about 7 years later. With Theron in the running as the most badass modern-day Hollywood action star, it's time for a closer look at her death-defying stunts in Atomic Blonde. Set in the final days of the Cold War in 1989, Atomic Blonde is an acclaimed American action thriller directed by Brad Pitt's longtime former stunt double, David Leitch. Based on the 2012 graphic novel The Coldest City by Anthony Johnson, the story traces high-ranking MI6 spy Lorraine Broughton, who is hired to obtain the list, a document exposing the identity of every active spy in Berlin, Germany. In Berlin, Lorraine tries to keep her identity a secret from the KGB as she infiltrates the agency and keeps close tabs on Satchel, James McAvoy, a dangerous double agent working for high-powered Soviets. Before uncovering Satchel's identity as a double-crossing spy, Lorraine forges a romantic bond with Delphine Lasalle, Sophia Baudella, a secret French agent who works with her to find the list. Along the way, several violent Russian spies and intelligence agents confront Lorraine and Delphine with bad intentions, including Spyglass, Eddie Marsan, Yuri, Johannes Johannesson, and their boss, Alexander Bremovich, Roland Mahler. Yet, no matter how much hand-to-hand expertise or firepower at their disposal, Lorraine makes short work of her enemies at every turn. Thanks to Charlize Theron's authentic stunt work in the worthwhile Cold War movie, Lorraine's hyper-violent brutality remains highly convincing even when the story strains credulity. How Charlize Theron prepared to perform her own stunts in Atomic Blonde. Charlize Theron is no stranger to sacrificing her body to give great screen performances. In 2003, Theron famously played real-life serial killer Aileen Wuornos in Monster, a landmark, Oscar-winning performance in which the actress completely transformed her body to physically mirror Wuornos as authentically as possible. As a producer on Monster, Theron went above and beyond in the ownership of her performance, putting her body through the ringer for her art. Theron also produced Atomic Blonde, once again delving headlong into the entire filmmaking process by avoiding stunt doubles to give as authentic a performance as possible. However, to fully appreciate the sacrifices made by Theron in Atomic Blonde, director David Leitch knows what he's talking about regarding career stunt work. While promoting The Fall Guy in 2024, Leitch spoke with People and explained how Theron performed roughly 99% of her stunts in Atomic Blonde, at least in the iconic stairwell fight. According to Leitch, that stairwell fight that we created, that's 99% her, except for a couple places where we threw stunt coordinator Monique Ganderton down the stairs. For the uninitiated, the stairwell fight scene is a breathless hand-to-hand melee brawl that, through skillful editing, appears as an unbroken 10-minute action blitz. The sequence consists of 40 invisible edits to keep the action going, with Theron performing every carefully choreographed mover herself as Lorraine brutally bashes a rash of Russian goons. It would be impressive for anyone at 25 years old. That Theron was doing this kind of action at 40 speaks volumes about her physical conditioning and willingness to sacrifice her body for art's sake. As Leitch notes about Theron's expertise, she showed that she could do 10, 15, 20, 30 moves in succession without needing to cut or reset. We were like, wow, this is special. This is unique. We need to take advantage of this. It's really Charlize learning all that choreography, taking those hits. According to Jezebel, Theron prepared for the role by getting fit with 8 personal trainers that basically made her puke every day. While training, Theron bruised a rib and broke a tooth that required surgery after she clenched her jaw too tight. Fans can hear from Theron about her on-set injuries in the video below. Interestingly enough, Theron also sparred with Keanu Reeves in her preparation for Atomic Blonde, who stars as John Wick in the action franchise produced by David Leitch. Theron and Reeves' relationship dates back to The Devil's Advocate and Sweet November and could continue with a potential Atomic Blonde/John Wick crossover when Atomic Blonde grossed $100 million in 2017 via Box Office Mojo. Interest in a sequel naturally formed. In 2019, it was confirmed that Leitch intended to direct a sequel for Netflix, with Theron poised to return as Lorraine Broughton. In 2020, it was confirmed that Theron will produce the film through her Denver and Delilah production shingle, with original screenwriter Sam Hart also returning. Although advances in development have been quiet since 2020, a potential crossover with John Wick could be in the cards. In July 2017, fans pressed Leitch on the glaring similarities between John Wick and Atomic Bomb, suggesting a possible crossover film. According to Screen Rant, Leitch said the potential crossover sounded like a cool idea, adding, "It would be great. I get this question once in a while, and I think it's just more their time period lines. I would absolutely do it. Maybe there's a time we see versions, or there's a, the other real fantasy is that maybe there's a project with both, that a new idea. That Charlize and Keanu could, a story that we could have with the same action space and we can see them either partner up or go toe-to-toe. Whether an Atomic Blonde sequel or franchise crossover is made, it will be interesting to see if Theron performs as many stunts as she did in the original." In addition to Atomic Blonde 2, Theron is poised to star in The Old Guard 2, Two for the Money, and Apex, all described as physically demanding action movies. With her past and future resume, Charlize Theron is arguably the most compelling and convincing Hollywood action star working today.